Train by day, Kyle Wigginton podcast by night. All day.
Dude, podcasting's so fun.
It really is. It is. One of the cool things. Are we rolling?
Yeah, bro. We've been rolling the whole time.
Oh, shit.
I don't fuck around, man. I won't post anything crazy, but you know.
I don't think I'm going to say anything crazy.
Oh, I'm going to make you say something crazy.
Okay.
Dude. Yeah.
I'm a fairly
You seem pretty chill.
I'm very chill, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll say weird stuff, but it's a joke. But
Jorge Valazquez? No.
Velazquez.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's a K, Kez.
Okay. Yeah, I'm horrible with names, dude. I think Heidi, she was telling me her name the other day. I had to cut it out.
Dobrats.
Yeah. Well,
oops.
Right. We'll have to cut that one out too. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why she doesn't like her last name being said.
I think it's more I think it's more of branding.
Name. Yeah.
Branding. Heidi. Boom.
I like that. Yeah.
Straight straight to the point.
What do you go by on stage?
Jorge Valazquez.
Okay. It's a cool name.
You think so?
I think so.
So it's weird, right? I was always a theater kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought about ooh, what if I was an actor? And I don't know. I grew up in the ghetto, kind of in East LA.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say being a little Mexican kid in East LA, there's already a lot against you. You know, the world is projects this image onto you. So I grew up just kind of thinking I wouldn't do anything, that I was just going to live my life at home, working whatever to help in the family, you know, kind of I saw a lot of people do growing up.
Right.
And so being a theater kid, I always thought about well, what if you got into acting? You'd have to change your name, because I never thought Jorge Valazquez
mm-hmm.
would be a name that you would see on anything. I'm it's such a weird name. It's such a long name.
Mm-hmm.
But now as an adult, I'm dude, it's a badass name. You got all the crazy letters, you know. I got a V in there, some Q's, some Z's. It's
what's catchy? Jorge Valazquez. It's a catchy name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I grew more into myself, I started to love those things that I used to find weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And my name is one of those things that I now love.
Yeah.
It's
a strong name. So theater kid growing up in East LA in the ghetto.
Yeah. That's me, man.
How was that? Was that rough?
It was a little rough. I mean, first of all, I don't know. I think my family did the best they could
mm-hmm.
growing up. I didn't grow up in a bad family, but I also didn't have the best experience. There were a lot of rough parts, and it was weird, man. There were so many different influences in my life, and I saw people going off in different directions. Right. I saw the people who got into gangs, and I saw a lot of friends die, growing up. My older sister, went to Yale, and she graduated from Yale, and I'm just holy shit. And so I had all these different extremes, and I had all the middle examples. So and I was a middle kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very interesting experience for me. I feel for the longest time, I didn't know who I was for the longest time. I mean,
but you think that's different from other people? You think other people have a solid foundation? I think some people never know who they are.
I think it's the same experience we all have,
mm-hmm.
just under different context. You know, for me personally, it was hard. Having two older siblings and two younger ones, I felt often it was weird. I felt like I was neglected, but at the same time, I feel like I was supported.
Right.
My mom showed up to my plays and my swim meets and stuff like that. My dad showed up to everything he could, even though they were separated.
Dude, that's hard to do too. When you have kids and stuff, especially that many kids, and you're trying to do all the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. So that's ain't for any parents out there. I say, cause my parents are the same way. They would come to all my stuff.
Yeah.
But for any parents out there that are young, I say, try to go to all your kids' meets and stuff, because that's going to mean so much to them.
It means so much, right? By the way, it's Mother's Day. So to the moms out there, happy Mother's Day to my mom. Thank you so much just for doing everything that you could. I know you tried your hardest to be a good mom, and I did my hardest to be a good son, and I love you for that.
I tried my hardest to be a bad son, and you still were there for me. No, I'm saying.
So no, so I think now as an adult, I look back and think about how silly all that was.
Yeah.
Because I was supported. But I don't know why I felt so alone. I don't know. It took me a very long time. But what you were saying, how parents just show up, even if you don't think it means anything. I have this one memory. I was in a swim team, and I was about to go up. I was the next one, and then I just see my dad walking up to the gates, and like, I don't remember if I won or lost. I don't even remember what year that was. I just remember like being so happy that he was there,
Right.
So parents, just show up, that kind of stuff means a lot.
Well, that's a lot of things in life too. I mean, depending on what you're doing in life, just show up.
Dude, just show up. You know how much support just showing up is?
Well, it's support for the whole system. Like if you're trying to be a comedian, and you don't show up, you can't be a comedian.
No,
if you're just talking about it your entire life, then you're not actually doing anything. But a lot of times, if you just show up and do something, then you're getting a step ahead of where you were yesterday.
Dude, the hardest part about anything is just showing up. Just show up. That's why I try and be at every mic.
Yeah.
Even though I'm exhausted all the time, I do so much that I'm fucking exhausted all the time.
It's a grind for you comedians.
Yeah.
And especially with what you do, you're a teacher as well, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that about you.
Yeah, I teach at a university here. I don't know if I want to say it or not.
Well, you don't have to say the university, but he teaches music, right?
Yeah, I have a rock band class.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
He teaches rock band.
Yeah, I love it, dude. It is such an amazing and fulfilling job. I love my students every semester.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a college class, and like, it's literally just bands.
Yeah.
I break them up into, right now, this semester, we have 3 rock bands. And they jam out, they choose their music. And then I go in and I guide them, and I'm like, cool, that was good, but you're struggling here. So let's work on that, and let's learn on how to spot problems and how to work specific problems. And so like, I'm helping them with their rehearsal process.
So like, what's an example of one of the problems you?
Sometimes one of the biggest ones that always happens is transitions. I don't know, for
Between songs?
non-musicians, I don't know if this is going to be boring, but like, within a song. So, right, you go from the chorus to the verse or to the bridge or whatever. And sometimes, going from the verse to the chorus, just like,
It's kind of jarring. It doesn't flow.
it's just, they're like, how do we make that transition to this next section? And so it's bridging the gaps between sections. And so we'll be all like, okay, so who's playing what, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, well, let's try and build into the chorus. So like, let's bring up the volume or the, it's depending on the song, everything needs something different, but like.
And are these original songs or?
No, they do covers.
Okay.
The semester's so short.
Yeah.
That they don't have time to like sit down and do original stuff. But
yeah, was the In Project or something? What'd you guys do here that one time?
Oh, so so every semester we do a bar performance. So we'll find a bar, and like, I will literally be like, I am your sound guy. Today, you guys are on your own. This is your show. You guys run it. You guys know who's going, what the lineup is. Make sure that you have a smooth show. That means show up on time. Make sure that you guys set up, know which bands are next, so that you guys can backline your equipment and be ready to make a smooth transition. And so like, I just show. So once a semester, they do like an actual performance with a real audience at a bar.
God, it was so awesome. I came that night, and it was honestly,
this place was packed.
Yeah, it was one of the most incredible performances that I've seen here. And not taking away from any of the other bands or anything, but just the amount of people that came out to support that night, and the professionalism of the artists that were going there and performing. It was amazing.
And that's one of the things that I'm trying to help them develop. Right. So, some people see the rock band and the class, and they think, oh, we're just like jamming out. Right. But like, there is so much. If you follow me around, just one day you'll see how I'm helping them like polish what they're doing. And I'm trying to help them add to their skill set so that they know how to not just play a song, but like
run the business too.
Yeah. Like, cause like everything about what it takes to be a working musician.
Well, working artist in general. If you look at the comedian side of things, there's so much that goes behind the scenes of just making a comic like a real thing, if that makes any sense. Like, I mean, you can do open mics your whole life, but you got to learn the business side of it too. Well, to actually be a successful comedian. Yeah, absolutely. And like, part of that is making sure that you do as many shows, as many mics, that you support as many of your fellow artists. And dude, that's a big thing right there. It's like growing with the people around you. Yeah. I've spoken to a bunch of the comedians about this, and you can see it too. Like where when I first dove into the comedy scene, I don't do comedy, by the way. If you guys, I just like, I support the scene. Kyle is one of our biggest supporters in the scene. I love it. He's always down to do anything. Dude, thank you, man. I love it when people want to grow. Yeah. Like, it's my whole thing is like, if you want to grow, I'm going to be there to help you grow. It's such that's why I teach. Yeah. Right. Exactly. It's an amazing thing to like support someone and see the process of like them just getting bigger and better. You know? Well, and it's one of the things I've seen about the comedians. Like, we started doing the open mic here, and I've just seen everyone in that entire area just grow and grow and grow. And it's so rewarding for me to like watch these guys grow from, just doing 1 or 2 open mics to actually doing their specials and going on tour and starting these shows. It's amazing. And one of the things that's so great about like seeing them week after week, for me, day after day, is seeing like the progress, seeing how we have so many hilarious, amazing comedians in the scene, and it's great to see them work their process, work their jokes, right? Because like I said, I see them at every mic, and I see how they're adjusting their joke, how they're like flipping words or like flipping jokes around and trying to find like, just seeing the process. Is pretty amazing. It's a great experience. Well, the comedy thing, like we hear a lot of people say jokes and stuff, but no, it's a lot about timing, and it has to deal with playing to the crowd, the certain crowds that you're at. That's one thing I love about comedians like Bill Burr. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter what room that guy goes into, he's going to smash because he's telling jokes to the crowd that's out there. Yeah. Well, one of the things I talk about frequently is like, you have to build a rapport with your audience. You can't just, sorry, I smoked a blunt on the way over here. That's a comedy thing right there too. Yeah. So every now and then I might have to pause and breathe because there's a lot of smoke in my lungs. It's probably a good thing you didn't say that school that you work for now. I know, right? So one of the important things that I like to work on is crowd work. There's nothing worse than having a rowdy audience and then a comedian comes up and just goes right into their material because they become background noise. All of a sudden, it's the same as someone plugging in a song that you don't give a fuck about on the jukebox. No one has a jukebox anymore. But no, you're right though. On the digital player. Yeah, on the Spotify list. Right. You're at a bar, you hear music, and it's a background thing. Yeah. I have seen so many comedians go into a rowdy room and like just go into their jokes, and I'm like, you just became background noise. Yeah. Like I am watching you, I am seeing you, and you're just going through your material. Like you're just right. And it's like one of the best things you can do, especially in open mics where it's solo pressure, is work on your crowd work. Yeah. Talk to the audience. Even if it's like the smallest little thing, anything, point out something in the room, talk to one person, comment on a joke that someone just did, make fun of someone, anything, like be like, oh, look at the ceiling, anything. Well, dude, people love that shit when you're making fun of them too. Yeah. Like, and a lot of comedians are like hesitant about doing that, but no, one night Marcus was in here. He's like, yo, man, you mind if I do? And like, this wasn't even a comedy night. Yeah. And it was kind of slow one night. He's like, you mind if I do my my new 5 minutes? And I was like, sure, why not? So dude like sets up the PA and starts doing 5 minutes to a room of like 3 people. and the people were listening to him.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he finished his like spiel or whatever, they were like, can you heckle us? Or can you just like say some jokes about us? And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, dude, you should have been doing that from the get-go. Just like go straight at those people.
Some people love that.
Yeah.
At this other show that I do, Jinx, every Saturday, there was literally like a dad, his daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend. And I guess there was tension between the dad and the boyfriend.
Oh.
They were literally like wanting me to like just make fun of the other. And
yeah.
like, I'm like, okay. And so I spent like, before the show even started, I spent like 30 minutes just fucking around with them.
That's actually really smart too.
Yeah.
When there's a conflict, like, cause it makes you the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like the dad and the son are no longer angry at each other. Like,
Right.
oh, this comedian guy.
Yeah. And that's great. But what I love about doing that though, right? The crowd work is that it sort of brings the entire, how do I say this? It all brings us together and there goes.
No,
that's the highness. I'm sorry. I have the thought and I'm just too high to get it out. But what it is it brings us all into the room.
Right.
It makes it goes from being a performance into, hey, we're all here. Yes, I have the mic, but we're all here where this is happening. I'm not just about to like throw these words at you that I practice.
You're like, no one's safe, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Jorge's
right?
here and he's taking over this bitch.
It's just cool to like bring us all down to reality.
Yeah.
All right. And be all like, we're here. We're all part of this. And so if you even go, like I said, if you even go in and just like bring attention to any one thing in the room, all of a sudden we're all here together.
Yeah.
Instead of like, this is a comedian who's now performing for you. Everyone is now part of this experience.
No, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. More comedians should listen to that words of wisdom right there.
I mean, it has made some of my nights easier as a host when I get up on the mic and I have to make announcements. Hey guys, we're going to be starting and so, and then I'll talk to people.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them. So that way they feel comfortable. They know who I am. And it's like, we're all here together.
Dude, that's what makes a great host right there, is being able to get up on stage and you're not even saying jokes over and over again. As soon as the comedian gets off stage, you're taking their last bit, you're flipping it into something in a transition, and then you're talking to the audience while the next comedian comes up.
Yeah.
And like, that's a skill to learn right there too.
It is. And it's hard. And I, by no means, I'm going to say I'm good at it, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And I would like to say I have good nights.
Yeah.
I have good nights, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's really interesting when you talk with the people instead of at them. I love the connection.
Yeah.
You know, so like, that's one of the reasons why I go to so many mics and I try and go to every mics. It's just like,
it's so impressive how many fucking mics you guys get out to. And like, I can't make it to all the mics we do up here, but Jorge, thank goodness, is always here to fucking take some pictures, man. He keeps it rolling.
Dude, it's one of my side hobbies.
Yeah.
By no means am I a professional and I just use my phone, but like, I like capturing like, the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and I like when the comedians are on stage because there's moments where just for a second, they're not doing their act or they're not acting and you see something real in them, right? Especially when a joke lands. Everybody laughs, you see their face and they laugh and they break whatever in their routine and you see that moment of realness. I love capturing that.
Yeah.
And I just fucking went into debt for a brand new phone.
It's a sick phone, dude. What is that?
Thank you. It's the new S22 Ultra.
Is that like a Galaxy or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah, it's a Galaxy. Because I'm all like, fuck it, man.
That's a beast of a phone, son.
This is taking amazing pictures.
Yeah.
Though. And like,
well, we look forward to seeing those.
Yeah, it's photography is one of my like little side hobbies that's sort of just for me.
And dude, these phones nowadays, like you can get 4K footage on phones.
Bro, 8K.
8K. Get the fuck out of it.
8K.
Do you even have a computer that can run 8K footage?
Actually, I do. I have a little mini recording studio.
Yeah. That's what from a person who works with a lot of video footage perspective, like I had to upgrade my computers just to work with the new footage that's coming out.
Yeah, it's insane, man. I needed a computer minimum. I'm like, I need 32 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
Because I just run so much audio and shit through it that it's like.
Yeah, we the last project we did, the guys who shot it were like, oh, we're gonna shoot with they wanted to get a red first. And I was like, we don't need a red for this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need a red camera to shoot a commercial. Okay. And they're like, well, let's go with the Blackmagic Mini. And I was like, fuck, like, what does that even shoot? It was shooting 8K footage. And I was like,
do you know how many people can even watch anything in 8K?
Oh no, we render it down. We don't even like, it's the thing when we shoot, we don't even edit for 8K. We edit for 1080 still. And it's like, we can render in 4K if we need to, but no one even watches shit in 4K.
Yeah.
Like, unless you have a 4K TV, you're going to watch it in that. But if you're watching it on your cell phone,
oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you don't need that. You don't need all that. But I was like, okay, I'll concede, because it is nice to have that kind of quality too. Because if you have a piece of 8K footage, we're talking massive, you can punch in on a 1080 spot if you need to.
You can.
Yeah.
Being able to zoom into something and like keep clarity is fucking dope.
But at the same time, that's the art of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like, you pick your shots. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't need all that extra. This is for my buddies. They know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you motherfuckers. Pick your fucking shots. Don't shoot 8K.
Pick your shots. Yeah, no, man. Kyle, dude, let me ask you a question. I'm going to interview you for a second. Because I also do a podcast. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, but I'll come on at some time.
Oh, you guys, I have a really great podcast. I have, I bring all of NOLA's comedians every 2 weeks. I talk to a different comedian. Mm-hmm. Dude, tell me about Another Bar. Like, this is such a cool place. It used to be Another Bar. No, wait, I'm sorry. It used to be The Other Bar.
Yeah.
And then you bought it?
No, I didn't buy it.
Okay.
So, so it was The Other Bar.
Yeah. Okay.
Then over the quarantine, the guy who owned it sold it to another gentleman. And this other guy, the first guy was kind of, we won't talk too bad about him, but he wasn't the nicest person ever. Yeah. But we sold it to one of the greatest human beings that's ever walked the face of this planet. The guy who owns it now, he's such an amazing person. And I told him he wanted to make this place a sports bar when he first bought it. And I was like, this doesn't need to be a sports bar.
No.
Yeah. I was like, the thing we've been trying to grow over the past 3 years, I worked for 3 years before it shut down. I was like, that's what we need to keep pursuing. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know what that is, but he's like, I trust you. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so let's build a stage. Let's get some equipment. Let's start trying to take these artists and use this as a launching pad. Yeah. Which is kind of the whole idea behind all this stuff.
Dude, I love it. This is like such a good place to do anything creative. Yeah. I love it. Ever since I've been, I'm glad you all kept it the way it is. Cause ever since I've been coming here, like, y'all knew what this place was. Mm-hmm. Y'all knew what it was and what it needed to keep being. I love all the crazy tables like that are made out of doors. Yeah. Do y'all still have those? I actually don't.
Yeah, they're on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. I love all the art. It's like,
this is like the inside of my brain. It's really what this is. Yeah. I've kind of taken the inside of my brain and like made it into a bar.
I dig it, man. If you've never been to Another Bar, please come. This is such a cool spot. I love it, dude. This is one of my favorite bars.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no, for you. Like, and I mean that. If I went out more, yeah, I would probably be here more.
What's up? People always ask me like, where do you go when you go out? And I'm like, I come here. Yeah. Like these are my people. Like this, whenever you come here, you're going to get a mixture of everything. Like
there's always something creative happening here.
Yeah. Well, the other night we stood outside and we were talking about time. Yeah. And like what time actually is. Like this weird fucking cosmic discussion about time. And then one of the guys was like, hey, you want to arm wrestle? And I was like, fuck, why not? So we come inside and we start arm wrestling and it's fucking random shit. And then Towner was here dressed as Blazin. Yeah. So here dressed in drag. So Blazin started refereeing the arm wrestling matches. So we had a drag queen refereeing the arm wrestling matches. It was just, this bar is just crazy. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah. But it's always a good time.
It's always a good time, man. And the open mic here is just, it's great.
It's great. You know, we do all of our open mics. We do karaoke on Sundays. Yeah. We do comedy on Tuesdays, and then we do for musicians on Thursdays.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so it's just like throughout the week, man, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
I've thought about coming to the music open mic and playing something.
I would love to hear that because I know
I don't play that much anymore, though.
You just teach it now?
I just teach it.
What kind of stuff did you play when you did?
It was a mixture of a lot of things. I used to like playing like old school rock. I definitely loved covering the Beatles as much as I could. Just Pink Floyd stuff.
Did you sing too, or just play?
No, I'm a bass player.
Okay, cool.
So like I was happy just being on the side. Yeah, just grooving, you know. But yeah, I do miss playing, but like it's hard playing with a band.
Yeah.
It's super hard. And it's hard to find anyone who's willing to play for fun and not worry about whether or not we have to perform. Cause at this stage in my life, it's like, I would love to keep playing music, but I don't want to make it a thing. I don't need to perform. I don't,
Yeah. I was talking to Matt about that. Matt Bartles, he was in earlier, and he goes by Dwayne Bartles Band. But he was talking about their band, and like he does solo stuff a lot, but he said it's like just so much more difficult when you're adding in all these other people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the more in anything creative, the more people you add, the more points of views. Point of views? The more point of views you have, right? More people that want to like put their hand in and be like, oh, it should be this, it should be that. And
especially when it's when you don't have a clear line of who like the lead guy is. Like on a movie set, you have the director.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we all go to him for the big boss to say what's going on.
Yep.
But when you get in like a band, unless you know the lead singer is the one that's like going to be the one to put it down.
Yeah.
Then you have the egos that get into play.
Yeah. And in a band, it's hard because it is such a collaborative thing that it's hard for a lot of people to be all like, well, he's our leader.
Right.
Because everyone is like kind of putting in equally oftentimes.
Yeah. Well, no, probably a lot of times it's not even the lead singer. I just said that because, you think the front man, but no, a lot of times the front man's probably off getting his dick sucked or something. And like, it's like everyone else to make the music. I don't know how it works.
I sometimes the lead singer is just another member in the band.
Yeah.
He just happens to be the one that's up front,
Yeah. What was the Mark Wahlberg movie? Rockstar? Is that what it's called?
I think so. I didn't see it.
Yeah. You see that in that movie right there, that he's just a member of the band. Like whenever his ego starts getting into the way of the band or whatever, that's whenever he starts breaking everything up again. But the ones that are actually making the music are like the bass player and stuff.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like perception versus reality, right? Like people see the band and the lead singer is just killing it, and he's and they're like talking to the crowd, so they're obviously the one that's like controlling the energy throughout the show. But like, you don't know what's happening during the rehearsal process. You don't know who's like, man, in the rock bands that I teach, oftentimes the singers don't even know anything about music.
Right.
And they're just waiting while the band like does the actual work, figures out the song, and then they jump in and then just work on their vocal part.
Not to talk bad about anyone, but since you said that, we did have a band come through a little while ago, and he couldn't even figure out how to hook the mics up.
Oh man.
And I was like,
that's one of the things that I teach my students. Like, I'm like, yes, you're the vocalist, but this equipment is yours. Learn it. And so I never do anything for them. I'm like, okay, cool. You need to go get the PA and you need to hook it up. Yeah. I will tell them how to do it. I will be there and show them step by step. And I'm like, this is what you need to know. Yeah. Like, how embarrassing is that? That's like being the guitarist and being like, hey man, how do I plug these pedals in? Like what order? Like which, like I brought the wrong cable, like. Yeah.
If you don't know how to work the equipment, how are you fucking... Yeah. How are you?
In anything in life that you get into, even if you do it as a hobby, at least learn the basics.
I agree.
Learn the basics.
That's a lot of the way we do things around here too. Is we're running several podcasts out of here now with this equipment. Yeah. But I can't edit all the podcasts.
It's hard.
It's a lot of work. So what I told the other podcasters, I said, look, I'm going to teach you how to edit these podcasts. Yeah. That way you can learn the equipment. That way, if I'm not ever there, then you can do it. Yeah. And that's like, I don't know. That's the way I'd like to teach people, to like give them a skill rather than just go, let me do it for you.
Well, right. It's the old, give a man a fish or teach him to fish.
Exactly.
I'd rather teach people. And one of the things I don't say I hate, but one of the things that's disappointing, I guess, in life is someone who doesn't want to learn, someone who doesn't want to take the time to like learn such a simple thing and be able to do it for themselves.
Yeah. Especially when it's something that deals with your craft.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. When it comes to comedy, like it's really nice to see that there's a lot of people here in the scene that are hustling, that like they're watching other comedians, they're taking notes, like it's nice, and then there's a few who like think they can just get up on stage and just start talking and like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a style, but that takes a lot of fucking talent and not everybody has it. So it's really nice to see people like taking their craft seriously, even if it's for fun,
Yeah.
It's so much rewarding when you like can do something right.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what right is. I guess right is whatever's right for you.
I mean, that's a good question to ask though, because right could be,
because there's more than one way to do anything. So especially when it comes to the arts. So like now I'm back. Now I'm arguing against myself.
Well, it depends on the end goal. Like,
Right.
is right for you making money? Is right for you getting a
Fuck
product
no, man.
produced?
I don't give a shit about money. I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's my point. Is like there are different people that see what the end goal is all about.
Yeah.
So if someone's right was to make a lot of money, then that's clearly what they're going to be going for. But if it's just to produce a product, then that's also what they're going to go for. But there's also, you just want to make people think.
Yeah.
And that could be a big thing. Is like, do you just want to like make people, give them a different perspective?
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. Like, I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way to do anything, but there's definitely easier and better ways to do things in anything, but, oh, that's the AC. You gonna edit that part out? Because this is embarrassing. This is unprofessional. We're trying to do a podcast here, and the host is gone, and we have white noise. And yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I thought I had it up high enough it wouldn't come on.
You guys don't tell him what I said while he was gone.
Was he in here talking shit about me when I was gone?
Wasn't. I was saying the most wonderful things.
He's like, yeah, now this fat ass is out of the camera. I can get all the good time.
One of the things I do want to say, like, you were saying, like, some people measure right. And I guess in my head, I heard success. Like a lot of people, like what makes a successful artist? A lot of people often think it's like fame and money and stuff like that, man. But like, that's such bullshit. Like for me, like it's so much fun to just do the thing,
right?
To be doing it. Like every mic that I go to, that's it. That's the thing. That is the thing that is giving me joy right there. I'm not working towards a bigger, better show. I'm like right there. If I can do good that night, cool. Because I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. Like, right. And
dude, I think that's the sign of a true artist right there. If you, okay, see the door back here behind you?
Yes.
Okay. This is Ray Swaney. Really good friend of mine, but he's probably never going to be known for as great as he is. He's also one who painted the mural in there on the wall.
Yeah,
the face.
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh my God. Beautiful.
Dude,
mural.
He's one of the most incredible painters I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But he does it just because he loves to do it. Like he has to do it. It's something inside of him.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is an amazing thing. And I think that's something a lot of us are forgetting, right? Mm-hmm. We live in this hustle culture where everything has to be about like, oh, if you're not being recognized, if you're not making money, you're not doing anything. And like, again, even going back to comedy, there's a lot of comedians who are like, I can't do it unless I'm getting paid, or I'm trying to get paid. And it's like, cool, man. If that's your goal, more power to you. But like, we're forgetting that like, we need to do things just for the fun of doing them.
Yeah.
Like, so I teach, and that's what I do to like sustain me and stuff like that. And like, even though I'm into like my job is incredibly fulfilling, like, right. But then I do so many other things for free just because it's like, I need things that enrich my soul, my life. And like, I don't care. They don't have to be displayed. I don't have to be recognized for them. It's like, that's for me.
Yeah.
And so I do a lot, like, right. So, I play in an orchestra, I box 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
I do the open mics, man. I teach, and like a lot of the things that I do are just for free. Like, I'm not trying to make money. Like, obviously I'm not trying to fucking box and make it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not trying to fucking be a professional orchestra player. I mean, besides that, I'm not even that good. And I'm genuinely not trying to be a professional comedian.
Yeah.
You know, is it nice that like I see myself reaching higher levels? Yes, but that's not my goal. Like, you have to do things just for the love of doing them. And who cares if you're good? Who cares if you're bad? You know, if you put enough time, you'll get better. But like, if it's making you happy, do it. Fuck the money, fuck the fame, dude. Like, do it for you.
That's why you're going to be successful, dude.
I don't even know what that means.
I know you don't.
Me, I feel successful.
But that's the whole kicker, is like, whenever you stop doing things for money, that's when you become successful.
Yeah. Because
when you're doing things to help out the community around you or help out another human being, and you're not asking for some kind of money or compensation back for that, it's going to come back universally.
Yeah.
So
it really, really will, man.
Yeah. The law of duality, like anytime you exert a force, the force has to come back the opposite direction. So if you're exerting energy, putting someone else on a pedestal in some way, then it's going to come back to you and lift you up on a pedestal.
Dude, I have never been a selfish person with my money. I mean, I have been, but as a point of view, like I was talking about earlier, like I grew up poor. I wouldn't like not super, super poor, but like, you know, I knew we didn't have enough money to where if I needed money for a school thing, I wouldn't ask, or I felt embarrassed asking, you know, and then my dad passed away when I was 15. So ever since then, like, I felt this responsibility to work and like contribute to my family and stuff. And so very early on, and seeing my mother, like, just, man, when my dad passed away, she just went straight to work and like did what she could to provide for us. But like, I took that in my life, and like at an early age, I just had to help. I knew I had to help, and I had to help. And so, you know, I didn't have a whole lot of money for like a long time. And even now I'm not even well off. I can survive. But I've noticed that like, if I just don't worry about the money, dude, don't worry about the money. If my family needs it, give it to them, take what you need and give the rest to them. And like, money has always found its way back to me.
Right.
I don't know if that's just because of like what I put into life or whatever, but like, I've never worried about money. It's money. I get that we need it. I get that we need to pay bills and rent and stuff and food. But like, if you have a little extra to spare, man, give it to the people that need it. I'm not just saying go and give it away, but like, you know, never be afraid to give, like, and be generous with it. Dude,
there are certain ways you can do these things. Like, for instance, with the extra money we make at the bar, we bought podcast equipment.
Yeah, and this is an amazing thing that you're doing for artists, right? And in my shows, the Jinx show that I do, we collect tips, right? I don't take any of the tips. Yeah. I split it evenly between the 4 comedians that I bring on. I don't take any of the tips because I find money in comedy. Yeah. I find my own money in comedy. Right. And just last night we had a very small audience, Jazz Fest. Yeah. We had a very small audience. We made $25 in tip. I just paid everyone out of my own pocket, you know? So I was short. Like, I went home like minus like $60. Yeah. Whatever.
But you made everyone else's night.
Everyone had a great time. That small audience got a little bigger towards the end of the night, and everyone had a great time. Right. Those $60 that I'm down, I'll get them back. Yeah. What I can't get back is that amazing night, you know, and I think the comedians deserved to get compensated. You know, they stuck it out. That bar is hot. I love it. But that bar is hot, and they put up with a lot last night. There was a lot of time changes. But anyway, yeah, I'm not worried about that. I had to pay them out of my own pocket. Those $60, I'll get them back somehow.
Yeah.
You know,
but like I said, if one of those comedians ever blows up, Jorge's going to fucking open for him. You never know, right?
Right. I guess, but that's also not why I see it that way. Right. Well, I mean, I'm saying like, yes, I know
the universe works in mysterious ways is my point.
Yes.
So reciprocal, it will come back to you eventually in some way. And if more people saw the world that way, I think we would be in a better world in general.
I think so too. I think like that's my general outlook in life, man. If you just put out good vibes and do good things out there, they will come back to you. I mean, it's all about love. Man, I feel like we've just been saying the same thing.
Positive energy.
It's all about love, positive energy, and support, man. Yeah. If you support each other, we all just fucking come up together. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, unfortunately, there's people out there who just would rather drag you down. You know, that's like, if I can't be at the top, you can't either. And
those people you just like compartmentalize. You say, okay, you go over here. Mm-hmm. We're gonna keep our good energy together with us. Man. I see you hang out with Heidi a lot. She's good people.
She's really good people, man.
Yeah, we had a great conversation. She and I did.
I watched the podcast. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, Heidi's a wonderful human being. Her and I get along really well. She's a great comedian. Mm-hmm. I'm very glad to have her in my life. She just adds a lot of excitement and humor to it, you know?
Yeah. Do you get into the meditation and stuff? We talked about meditation while she was...
I did. At some point, I think it sounded like she was talking about meditating while she sleeps or something, or before.
The type of meditation she does is yoga nidra. I think that's what she was saying it was. She sent me some links on it. I haven't had a chance to watch them yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like that. Like before she goes to sleep, she like goes into like this meditative trance or something.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever done something like that?
No, but when I heard that, I'm like, you mean you just get ready for sleep?
Yeah, I tell you.
I'm like, oh, I do that too. That's when I lay there. When I try to go to sleep and just try and push all the bad thoughts. So,
dude, sleeping's a weird fucking thing when you think about it.
It freaks me out. Every time I got to do it, it's like, holy shit, this is weird.
It's like you said, you smoke a little bit of the marijuana.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. You know. So you ever been like high and then try to go to sleep and you're like, fuck, what if I don't wake up from this?
Oh yeah. Oh dude. So I frequently, I have trouble going to sleep, or sometimes, I'll wake up in a panic. And it goes away quickly, but like it's a small little instance. Mm-hmm. So I'll just wake up and be like, I'm not going to exist someday. And this is it. When I go to sleep, I'm like, that's what it's going to feel like. I go into a small little existential crisis. So I'm like, you're going to die one day. And you're not going to exist. How do you feel about that? And I'm like, what's that going to be like? What is it going to be like to not exist? And like, and then I start to sing a song in my head or something. Yeah. Anything to just stop the thinking.
Like, what is that? Like, what is your body just like when your brain's like, hey, bitch, you're going to fucking die one day. It's like you're trying to sleep. It's like, why would you do this to me?
I know, right? Well, it's like, I know this is the closest I'm going to get to feeling what it's like to be dead. So please don't put those thoughts in my head. I'm already there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird, man. But no, I have meditated. I've tried it, but it's one of that and yoga are things that I wish I did more because I like them, but I don't. But when I do, I really enjoy them.
Right.
But I don't do them nearly enough to say, yeah, I do it.
I've never done yoga. I tried it one time. I did the hot yoga thing and I almost died.
That shit's crazy.
Oh my God, dude. I sweat really bad anyway when I'm in like a warm environment.
Yeah.
So that day there was just like a pool of sweat around me. And I was still trying to I was drinking water too as I was doing this. But towards the end of the session, I was like, I'm fucking done.
Dude, I did it once and I almost threw up.
Yeah.
I almost threw up insane. Like I just had all this fucking water around.
When I felt amazing once I actually got rehydrated. Yeah. Because I mean, I sweat all the toxins out, right?
I don't know. I guess that's what they say.
I don't know, but I meditate all the time. I fucking love meditation.
I definitely think it's helpful. And like I said, I would love to do it.
Mhm.
It's one of those things where, along with yoga, it's one of those things that's, I think, is really good for the mind and the body.
Yeah.
I
think you got to find what works for you.
And what?
I think you got to find what works for you in that realm. Cause I mean, there's yoga is an entire science.
Yeah.
So you have to like kind of look into the science and say, okay, now pick and choose which parts of this I can do, which works for my physiology and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For me, just sitting down, sometimes I'll sit down, I meditate in the midday sun.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that's fucking crazy. But if you actually look at Buddha,
you were just talking about how you love the heat.
Yeah, I love the heat. Yeah, but if you look at,
I think that's insane.
If you look at Buddha statues, you'll see that he has snails on his head.
Oh yeah, they protected him from the heat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you take that and you extrapolate it out, then you're like, oh shit, well this guy must have meditated in the midday sun too. There's got to be something to this.
Yeah, I think like you said, you just kind of have to find what works for you.
Yeah.
So like when I do yoga, which is like once or twice a year, I look for a video and I'm like, why am I trying to do this? And then like, if I'm sore, I'll look for something for that. If I just feel I need a stretch, I'll look for that. If I feel like I need to just feel a little more flexible I think you just have to find what works for you in the moment. And I just thought about this now, but like, I don't do meditation, but like I go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I train as a boxer. I don't actually fight. I just do the exercises and the bags and all of that. But when I'm working out, like that's a form of meditation. That's a form because I noticed that like I just blank my brain. I try not to think about anything. All I'm focused on is how my body feels.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm focusing on is my movements. And so it's like, it's almost the same as sitting there and meditating and like pushing thoughts.
Oh, it's exactly the same principle. Yeah. And whenever you're lifting weights or you're working on your breathing and stuff, as you're boxing, you're doing the same thing that they're doing with meditation.
Yeah. I'm focusing on my breathing because again, when I'm working out, that's the biggest thing. And that is the only time in my life, in my day, where I am focusing on how my body feels, everything about it. Right. So like I'm focusing on like, how do my legs feel? Is my stance good? How are my arms? Am I tired? Can I keep doing this? Like it's the one time where like I'm genuinely focusing inward, and then not having to worry about like my day, not having to worry about my life. Right. Or not worry, but think about all the things I have to think about, my schedule. Like, who do I need to book this week? Who do I need to fucking talk to? Right. Not having to think about anything other than how I'm feeling in the moment.
Do you work out in the mornings or you work out in the evenings or
afternoon?
Okay. So for me, it's morning.
Yeah.
As soon as I roll out of bed, I got to go straight to the gym. And it centers me for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, I get a late start anyway. I'm fortunate enough to where all my stuff happens in the evening.
Yeah.
Even teaching happens like later in the afternoon. So
that makes sense for the comedian grind because you guys are up late at night doing mics and stuff.
So I'm trying to be an early gym person, but I'm starting to realize I'm not even an early person.
Yeah.
So oftentimes I'm waking up at like 10, 11. That's when my day starts. And like, I'll be like, okay, cool. It's 10 o'clock.
Oh, wait, that's not early. That's the same time I wake up. I was thinking that was early. Yeah.
No, that's not early.
Okay, never mind.
Some people get up at fucking 8 a.m.
Yeah, no.
I heard somebody told me the other day that there is a 6 o'clock in the morning. Did you know this? That is a thing.
I normally see it sometimes when I'm awake from the night before.
Oh, that's 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
they wake up at that. It's the same. They wake up at that 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I'm going to bed.
No, I did the 9 to 5 thing when I first graduated college.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Like my physiology is not set up for that.
Neither is mine, dude. Like from as early as I could remember, I hated waking up early for school. I can't do it. I can't do it. And so now I wake up at 10. And so my day gets started around 11 because I sit around in bed just like being like, okay, man, you got to be a person today. Can you do this? Can you do this? Of course you can. You did it yesterday and you did it for fucking years before that. You just get up and I'll get my day going, and I will try so hard every day. I'm all like, cool, dude, you can get to the gym by 12 at the very least. And I always get there by 2.
Yeah.
And so I do from 2 to like 4. And then I come home and then like rush to make my first meal of the day. And then rush to like all the mics and stuff.
Yeah, I think you and I are on pretty much the same schedule. Like it's very seldom that I'm up at 8 or earlier. Like today I had to wake up a little early just because we had podcasts coming in this morning.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as just like waking up naturally, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock is when I'm normally waking up.
Even when I don't have alarms, somehow I just wake up at 10 naturally. Although today I actually woke up and it was like 7:53.
Oh.
And I woke up and I felt like I could be up. I'm like, oh, this is me actually waking up. I can get up, and I'm like, fuck that. And just went right back to bed, dude.
Like 2 more hours at least.
That was my literal thought though. I'm not like exaggerating. I looked at my phone and I literally thought, I'm like, I can be up. And I'm like, fuck that.
So many people out there right now are like, fuck these motherfuckers.
Dude, I mean, but again, you know, what works for you.
Yeah.
My entire schedule is shifted.
Yeah.
To where it starts around that time and it ends way later. So I go to bed later. And so my entire like schedule is just shifted. So y'all, if people wake up early, don't call them fucking lazy. All our bodies are different.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact I can try and wake up early, but my body does not want to. It's just not ready. And if anytime I have to get up early, I know I'm going to drag. I'm
the same way. One's about the physiology, another one's about like the life that you've chosen for yourself.
Yeah.
Like you've chosen to explore a life of comedy and to work the way you do. So, I mean, of course you've shifted your schedule around that. Yeah. I've chosen to do the life that I have. So that's why I can wake up a little bit later too.
Yeah. So don't call anybody lazy for getting up at 10, 12, 1, 2 p.m., man.
6 p.m. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, maybe they work like from 4 a.m. to like 3 or something. Or like
we're on second or third shift.
Yeah, man. You don't know.
Well, so the comedian thing, it's like their entertainment for the people that work day jobs.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to justify that one. I have no excuse. Jorge, what do you got coming up, man?
Dude, lots. Let's see. I mean, I have my weekly shows every Thursday at the Selena Catahoula Hotel Rooftop Bar. Every Thursday, we do the Catahoula Comedy Hour. That's really great. I love that show. It's at a rooftop bar.
I'd go check that out. I love rooftop bars in New Orleans.
It is beautiful. It's a great atmosphere, and I'm booking all the best talent right now. I am bringing nothing but the A game.
That's every Thursday?
Every Thursday.
That's tight.
And it's $10 for admission.
Yeah.
And that comes with 1 free drink. It's free for local comedians. And Kyle, obviously. It's
I'll pay my way.
I mean, you are in the community.
Well, I appreciate it.
It's free. So it's free for local comedians. And there's always a 5-minute at all my shows. If you ever see me do a show where it's a book show, I always leave a 5-minute opener spot. All right. And I fill that spot 10 minutes before the show from any comedians that come in support, because this is something I want to say. You guys support your comedians, support your local shows, support your local mics. Okay. If you're not doing that, don't expect to just get booked. Okay. I've had people asking me, when are you going to book me? And I'm like, you've never even been to any of my shows.
Right.
Like, and there's that 5-minute opener. Come support. You might get that, you know, and then that might open the door for you to like get in. And not that there's anyone I'm not booking right now. I just mean like,
that's the thing. Just show up, you know,
show up.
Yeah.
Y'all show up and support. So don't ask your local bookers to be on their shows if you haven't been supporting them, if you haven't been going to the shows.
It makes sense.
If you're not supporting their shows, then wait your turn. I'm sure they'll get to you, because I will get to all the comedians. If you haven't been on my shows, I will get to you. But if you haven't been to any of my shows and supported, don't ask me to be on it. Just wait your turn. you know, and do that for everyone, y'all, because we all need to be supporting each other. But yeah, so anyway, I also have the weekly. So yeah, at every show I do, I have a 5-minute opener spot. And that includes the Catahoula Hotel every Thursday, and every Saturday I have a free show. It's at the Jinx Bar and Grill in the French Quarter by the French Market. Dude, I love that show. That is just one of the rowdiest, but I mean that in a positive way. Like,
yeah, no, it's French Quarter. It's going to be rowdy.
Yeah, it's a little rowdy, but like in a positive way. I mean, they are there for comedy, and often nights we pack the house, and that's completely free. And there's an open mic after that, and we retain an audience for that as well. So, you guys come to any other shows, support.
What time do those shows start?
They're both at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.?
8 p.m. Cool. So every Thursday at the Catahoula Rooftop Bar, and every Saturday at Jinx Bar and Grill.
And where can the people find you out there?
Yo, I'm all over. I have a podcast, Funny Talks with Funny Fucks, that can be found almost anywhere that podcasts are streamed.
Is this all linked to your Instagram page?
Yes.
You have links on there? Okay.
Yes.
So they can find you on Instagram at Jorge Valazquez?
At _ Jorge Valazquez _ And all my stuff is on there. I post about all my shows. So Instagram is really the best.
Yeah, Instagram. Everyone has Instagram nowadays, so it's easy to just like put a link tree in there and link everything to that.
Look,
so
I fucking hate social media, but I've got them. I've got Facebook and Instagram. And the truth is, Facebook is just there to create events and invite people to things and advertise. Get at me on Instagram. That is
DMing.
Bro, I am always on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been like scrolling through Instagram and then you close it out just to reopen it and check it?
Dude, I heard you say that shit the other day. I was like, immediately when I heard that, I was like, fuck, I do that all the time.
That's a joke I do now, but that's the fucked up thing.
It's so true.
It's a joke. I started saying it because it's something I found myself doing all the time. It's like, wait, I was already...
Dude, you had a couple the other night that just fucking landed. They were killer. I don't want to blast them out, but I mean, this guy, he's slinging out some really good content right now. So definitely come check him out on some of his shows.
Thank you.
Get at him on social medias. And dude, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, no, Kyle, thank you. This is a lot of fun, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Thank you.